This is the 2026 GMC Yukon XL Denali, and it comes complete with everything you want. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. The exterior color on this model is downpour metallic. It is going to have full LED lighting here on the front end, complete with the animated locator lights that you see right there. That's going to be on the front and the rear. So we're going to have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED low and high beams, and LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the front end. As you can see, a nice aggressive look on the front end, squared off. It's going to have that muscular look to it. And we'll have our front view camera that's going to be located right here. There's cameras everywhere on this model. Now this particular Yukon XL is two-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is available for those who may want it. We're looking at 22-inch wheels. You will find a 17-inch spare located underneath the rear back there. There's your Denali badging, as well as the same with our GMC logo badge right here. And with these side view mirrors, everything is here that I know you're looking for. Turn signal indicators are built in. They're heated and power adjustable. They're going to have blind spot monitoring built in. Hopefully you can see that right there. And they're also going to be power folding. Now I know a lot of people like to see the window sticker, so if you want to see that, I can't always show that because a lot of the time there's so much of a glare that it's just not available to see. But there it is with all of the details for those who want to see that. Passive entry is located on the front and rear doors. That's the button right here. You can lock and unlock the doors from the front or rear doors, all four doors. And then we're going to have our power assist step. Nice large windows, very easy to see out of. The roof rails are up top with the available crossbars if you want to take advantage of those to increase your cargo space, as if there isn't enough here already. And as I mentioned earlier, full LED lighting. We also have the locator lights back here. Now these may not look very bright, but after dark, I guarantee you they are super bright. No problems where that's concerned. And here is your key fob with lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate. Here is the panic button, or you can use that to just find the vehicle, as so many people do. And this button, when you push it 2 times, here's what happens. It pops the rear glass open. So if you just need to get in and get out, put something in, take something out, whatever the situation is real quick, and you don't want to open the tailgate itself, guess what? That's the easy way to handle that. Under the hood is the naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8, putting out 420 horsepower and 460 pounds-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 about 6 seconds flat, give or take a little bit. Top speed about 110 miles per hour. Now you saw the window sticker earlier, but I'm going to go over these details anyway just so you can see them. Your MPGs, 15 city, 19 highway, 16 combined, and 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Your gas tank size is 28 gallons in capacity. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 390 miles in the city and about 500 miles out on the highway. Your towing capacity comes in at 7,500 pounds, and the payload is 1,523 pounds. As far as your cargo capacity goes, you're looking at 41.5 cubic feet behind the third row. If you lower that down, 93.8 cubic feet. When you lower the middle row down, you're looking at 144.5 cubic feet maximized. Here's how you're going to maximize everything. These rear buttons right here, I'll show you what those look like. You're going to hold those down. You can do one at a time or you can do both, but that's going to go down just like that. And then we can lower the middle seats with those front buttons, and sometimes there's a little bit of trouble you have to deal with where that is concerned. And now you can see how everything looks maximized. Now there is a difference between these buttons and these. You can lower the middle row seats, you can raise the rear seats up, but you have to bring those middle seats back up manually, and you have to hold those buttons down the whole time for either action to complete. Now, see if I can get my hand under here and show you what's underneath the floor. There's actually a good bit of space under there. You're also going to have the tools to change a tire if you need to. I told you about that 17-inch spare that you have located underneath this area of your Yukon. There's no shortage of space when it comes to the armrest on your door panels on each side. Plenty of room where that's concerned. The upper and the lower door bins will be here. You've got your Bose premium audio system and the Denali logo located on the door sill right there. Now, as far as getting these seats up and out of the way, first of all, you can use this lever to actually move the seats back and forth and make room for a little more leg space for your third row passenger. You can see how the seat over there on the passenger side is further forward than the seat here on the driver's side, and then times 2 right there. We're going to bring that down and get that to come up just like that, and that allows us to hop on inside. By the way, you do have the panoramic sunroof, as I mentioned to you earlier in the video. It's not open right now as far as the power shade goes, but it is there, and you can open and close the front section. We'll have the cup holder and a little bit of space back behind that, and a USB port. That's going to be on each side. Air conditioning vents located in the roof area, very close to the passengers. That's always a good thing, and obviously some lighting, quite a bit of lighting actually, throughout the interior. A little hard to show that because, well, obviously we're not in a dark atmosphere. The second row definitely offers a lot more space as far as leg space goes than the third row, and it does depend on where the front seats are set. Cup holders on the rear of the center console. We're going to have our command center for our air conditioning with fan speed and temperature. As you can see, going to have our fan speed right there and our temperature. You can also turn that off right there. There's your temperature and some of our other settings, including our heated seats. We also have some connectivity options located underneath, and the armrests are here. I always wish these were a little bit longer than they actually are. You can see that my whole arm doesn't fit on there the way I'd really like for it to. Preferably, these would come out to about right here, and that would be even better. Once again, air conditioning vents located right up there in the roof line, so they're nice and close to the passengers, but the main area of attraction is going to be right up there. Let's hop up into the front seat and tell you all about it. If you didn't see the window sticker that I showed earlier in the video, the sticker price is $94,399.95. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've already shown you for that price. Now, there's a lot of storage space right here above the center screen. Just open that little compartment right there, or should I say large compartment. And here's something very interesting to know. If your power tailgate isn't opening, come right here and make sure this is set to max or 3/4. Make sure it's not set to off. Very important and very easy to deal with. And we have the power shade that I told you about earlier. There's your sunroof. And so that's going to come up. The middle button right here, or control, is going to operate that, and then we can open and close our shade, or our sunroof, I should say, depending on what we need to do where that is concerned. Some of the lights are right there. And actually, let me show you a little trick. If you hold this light just like this, all of the lights will come on in the interior. So now you can see that everything is on. You still can't see how bright it is because it's still not dark enough where we are. And obviously, to turn that back off, we're just going to come right here and do that. Now, plenty of storage space. We're going to have the glove box right here. Nothing out of the ordinary. The upper and the lower door bins and the nice large armrest over there. And then we'll have a little bit of storage space here on the side of the center console. That's kind of hard to show from this angle, but there it is. And then we come over here to the driver's side door. I do wish that seat memory for this price point was on the passenger side, just like it is on the driver's side. Just seems appropriate. Have your lock and unlock buttons. And I'm going to push this button right here. There's something I told you about earlier but didn't demonstrate. The power folding side view mirrors. Everything for controlling your mirrors is right here as far as your positioning goes. You've got your power windows. One touch down, one touch up for your front windows. One touch down. You'll have to hold those switches to bring the windows back up. Now, your controls for your lights are right here. All of that. And then we're going to have our drive mode selector. Let's go through those drive modes just so you can see what they are. Now, you're going to start with normal. We go to sport, snow and ice, and then you have tow haul mode right there. If you want to take advantage of that, it's going to be there. Now, we're going to come up here and take a look at the driver's display. Now, you may not like what you see, and there's a couple of different things you can do to change that. Number one, you can come right here. You can change the overall look. Just to run through that real fast, if you need your navigation, there it is. That's going to come up right there. Depends on what it is you want. There's one more way I'm going to show you shortly where you can also change what you see. You see you have the coolant temperature right there, but you may want transmission temperature or something like that. We can also add that. I'll show you how to do that in just a bit. Now, voice commands, you can change what you're listening to here on the back of the steering wheel and have your volume on this side, what you're listening to on the other side. Shifter paddles for your 10-speed automatic transmission. Everything for your cruise control is right here. And then we'll have our front and rear window wiper controls right here. I didn't talk about the rear window wiper, but it is concealed away inside of the rear roof spoiler. And this is also your turn signal indicator or your blinker control. For those of you that have been to blinker school for all 5 or 6 years that it takes to learn how to use your blinkers. Yes, I'm being a tiny bit facetious on that. This is your shifter. So all you're going to do is put your foot on the brake, pull back, and then you just move that appropriately where you need to. No big deal where that's concerned. You can come right here to the button right there and go into park. Now, let's talk about our 16.8-inch touchscreen. Here's what I was talking about. If you want to see more on the driver's display, you can come here to maintenance for one thing. If you want to see tire pressure on there, you can add that to the driver's display, and you can see that that's now going to be there. And obviously you can remove that as well, so we can come back here and remove that. You can come back out of that screen. In fact, we'll come back and go right here, and then we can come out of this screen and go to our gauges. So depending on what you need to see, it's also here. Battery voltage, coolant temperature, oil temperature, you can see what all is there. Just to give you an idea of what's going on where all that's concerned. Google Assistant is here. You can say, hey, you know who. I don't want to set off devices in your house, so I won't do that, but you can use that for endless commands, questions. You can use voice commands to set up navigation. You're going to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and your cameras are plentiful. That's for sure. Let's see what all we have. That overhead view is there. There's our front view and our rear view. We can go to our overhead view, which is also going to have 2 different angles. And then we come to the side view mirror cameras. There's a lot going on where that's concerned. And something you can do with all of that is actually record everything as well. That's what this is when you're driving. Now, you will have to have a proper size USB drive or thumb drive. It gives you all the details right here as far as the USB drives goes, and you can set that in. I actually have a full tutorial on that if you want to know how that works, but it will record off of every single camera while you're driving. Very convenient. That's a good thing. Auto Park Assist is also here. You can see that you're going to have your Google Maps. You can go in and manage everything with your phone. Let's go into controls, because there's a few things here that are very important to know about. Number one, you do have a head-up display. I don't know if you can see that right now, but hopefully you can. But you can see the control right here for that. And you can come into this screen, and if it's not on, but you know you have it, well, just make sure it's turned on, just like that. You can adjust your brightness, your height, and your rotation. We'll come back out of that. Child safety locks are actually activated right here. So you're going to hear everything lock when you select that particular option. When it's highlighted in blue like that, you know that it's in operation. When it's not highlighted in blue, then you know they are not active at that time. Power assist steps, here's something else that you might need to know about. If they're not working, make sure they're on and not off. And if you're going to wash your Yukon, you can deploy those. They'll stay out while you're washing. Now, when you go into park and start to drive, they're automatically going to go back under the vehicle. I've had people ask about that in the past. So there you go. Now you know about that. And we're going to come back here and go to settings real fast, just to show you a couple of important things that I know a lot of people like to know about. You can see what all is here. Accessibility, system, you've got privacy, profiles and accounts, sounds, all of that's here. We're going to go into vehicle real fast. Teen driver, that's here, easy to deal with. Buckle to drive, you can turn that on and off. Do use your seatbelt when you're driving, but if you're driving around in a parking lot or something, yeah, it's kind of nice to not have to put your seatbelt on if you're changing spaces or doing something like that. Climate and air quality, you have your speed assist. How about those safety features? You got your alert type, forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, reverse automatic braking, park assist, rear cross traffic braking, and rear pedestrian alert. Now let me show you a difference here. When you see that check mark right there, obviously you can turn that on and off like that, and you can come in and do the same thing right here. But there is a little bit of a difference when you don't have the check mark. Just like with intersection collision braking right here, you can have alert and brake, alert, or you can just turn it off. Just depends on what you want to do and how you want to set things up. Now we do have physical controls down here for the air conditioning. you will have to come right here to the screen to turn your heated and ventilated seats on and off, depending on what you want to do with that. We do have a heated steering wheel, by the way. I didn't talk about that earlier, but there that control is. Everything for your volume right here, you can mute that just like that. That's how you're going to turn that on and off, and then you can adjust the volume here. You can also use Google Voice to do things like that as well. As far as the volume goes, you can adjust the air conditioner with Google Voice. There's a lot going on here. You got your front and rear window defoggers, and then we have our wireless charging pad right here, some more connectivity options, and our cup holders. And going back to our upper console, this control, what exactly is that? That's for your power sliding console, center console. You have a hidden drawer right here. Get that out correctly without a tongue twist. There's the hidden drawer, a little bit of space right there. If you have lazy middle seat passengers, you can send the cups back to them if you want to. And then I can bring that back up just like this, and that will be back in place. You can see the Denali logo with the contrast stitching on each side, and then quite a bit of space within the center console itself. And here's a quick sampling of the Bose premium audio system that I told you about earlier in the video. I made no adjustments. Obviously, you can go in and do that with the settings that I showed you earlier, but it does sound really good. Hopefully it sounds just as good for you as it does in person for me. All right, here we go on our test drive. If we were doing some car spotting, there is a Honda S2000 sitting right there at the light. Don't know if you picked that up or not. I'm not sure if the camera saw that. Some of you may or may not know what that is, or you may be so focused on what you see right here that you may not have seen it either. That is something that people often ask me about. Can you leave the cameras on when you're driving? You actually can leave any camera on the screen when you're driving if you need to. You might have noticed you don't have the rear view camera mirror in this particular model, or the digital rear view mirror. Well, guess what? There is an option for that. As you can see right here, that's actually showing the rear view camera. So if for some reason that's obstructed, there's an option. You can glance down at that the same way you would glance up at your rear view mirror occasionally. Don't focus on it, obviously, but that's something people ask me about, so I try to show it to answer that question. And something I forgot about, there's so much here to talk about. I forgot to tell you about this power adjustable steering wheel. It's tilt and telescopically adjustable. The control is on the left-hand side of the steering column to make those adjustments. And a lot of adjustability built into this, far beyond just the steering wheel itself. The driver's seat is also adjustable if you want to take advantage of that. So a lot going on where that's concerned to help you out to be nice and comfortable and not have to worry about any trouble seeing or being in just the right position for the driver. That's always a good thing. So easy to learn and use technology, that's always a good thing. Depending on who you are, this technology may be a little bit daunting to you as far as the way it looks, but it's really not that bad. It's actually very easy to learn and use. And you can see that we have a decent turning radius right there. Just made a U-turn so we can head back to the dealership. But for being such a large SUV, it does a decent job of making that turn, so that's a good thing. Good acceleration to get up and go when you need to. Obviously very easy to see out of. You do have all those great safety features that I was telling you about earlier in the video, and plenty of room in all three rows. The least amount of space will be in the third row back there, but adults can easily fit back there, so that's not an issue whatsoever. As I showed you, the middle seats can be moved forward a little bit to increase leg space for whoever's sitting back there. That's not going to be a problem. Very comfortable seats. Be easy to go on a nice long road trip, or if you get stuck in traffic around town when you're running errands, you're going to be comfortable, at least while you're sitting in that traffic. Not the best experience, but hey, at least you'll be comfortable in your seats. Heated and ventilated, that's helpful. A very well-built vehicle with a lot of great options and a lot of great functionality, and a lot of those simple things that are going to get the job done for you as far as being able to haul the family around. Towing and cargo space is plentiful. Everything's here. And there it is, the 2026 GMC Yukon XL Denali. Tell me what you think about this particular model, and if there's something missing, tell me what that is. Or tell me if this is exactly what you're looking for. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana, for loaning me this Yukon for the day so I can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and greatly appreciated. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.